What really happened in the final hours of one of wrestling's most iconic figures? Hulk Hogan, dead at 71. A man larger than life, brought down by a silent killer. This is the truth behind his final moments. For over 4 but on a quiet Florida morning, the world's strongest hero met his final battle, and this time, he didn't kick out. At exactly 9:51 a.m., Clearwater Fire and Rescue were dispatched to Hogan's waterfront home following a 911 call reporting cardiac arrest. Neighbors said they saw paramedics rush inside. Just over an hour later, 11:17 a.m., Hulk Hogan was pronounced dead. The night before his death, Hogan was spotted singing karaoke with his son Nick, smiling, laughing, looking full of life. There were no signs of what was to come. Jimmy Hart, Hogan's longtime manager and friend, took to X the next morning to shut down growing rumors about Hogan's health. But just hours later, everything changed. Fans around the world flooded social media with disbelief. "Is Hulk Hogan really dead?" became a trending search. His official passing sparked waves of confusion and heartbreak. Behind the iconic mustache and 24-inch pythons was a man who'd been through hell and back. Multiple surgeries, years of back pain, and more than a dozen procedures on his spine, hips, and knees, Hogan once said in an interview. But Hogan pushed through. Why? Because he had something bigger in mind. In true Hogan fashion, he wasn't ready to retire from the spotlight. His new wrestling initiative, Real American Freestyle, was scheduled to launch later that summer, a league built to support amateur wrestlers and give back to the sport that made him a household name. At his last public appearance in May, Hogan told fans, "I want to pass the torch the right way. I want to give young guys the spotlight." But fans noticed something. Hogan seemed different, slower, thinner. Some said he looked tired, others feared more. Speculation started to swirl. Was he hiding something? A secret illness? Could the surgery have gone wrong? No one knew for sure. And Hogan, as always, kept a brave face. But the most emotional reaction came from wrestling legend and close friend Ric Flair, who fought back tears as he recalled their bond. Flair revealed that during his own health crisis in 2023, Hogan quietly covered medical expenses without ever asking for recognition. "He saved my life," Flair said. That's who Hogan really was. Not just a larger-than-life performer, but a real-life hero behind the scenes. Charlotte Flair added to the flood of tributes, calling him a true legend and a protector. UFC's Dana White, Sylvester Stallone, and even Vice President J.D. Vance posted heartfelt messages in his honor. From Rocky III to Thunder in Paradise, to SNL skits and meme-worthy moments, the man was everywhere. But even with the fame, the fortune, and the roar of the crowd, it was his humanity that left the biggest mark, and that makes his sudden death hit so much harder. As news of his death spread, fans gathered outside his Clearwater mansion. Some held candles, others held signs. A few wore his iconic red and yellow gear. Grown men, tears streaming down their faces, whispering the words, "What you gonna do?" without Hulkamania. Online, it was no different. Hashtags like "Thank you, Hogan" and "Immortal forever" trended for hours. TikTokers, old-school wrestling fans, even Gen Z creators, all paid tribute to a man whose reach extended across generations. Still, questions lingered. Some fans didn't buy the official story. Was it just cardiac arrest? Could years of painkillers, surgeries, and steroid damage have finally caught up with him? Or was there something deeper? Something the public never saw? In interviews, Hogan often talked about being immortal. Not because he'd live forever, but because the spirit of Hulkamania would. He once said, and he was right. Hogan's body may have failed him, but his legacy? It's immortal. In every flexed bicep, in every kid ripping a t-shirt off in front of a mirror, in every brother shouted from across the street, Hulk Hogan lives on. This wasn't just the death of a wrestler, it was the end of an era. The final bell has rung for a true American legend. And hey, if this video moved you, Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're waiting for more breaking news, epic stories, and behind-the-scenes moments. And drop a comment with your favorite Hulk Hogan memory. We read every single one. Bye.